Hi, I'm astrologer Penny Dix, and welcome to another Astrobite. Today's is about our planet Saturn. Saturn currently residing in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. Saturn, who is about restrictions, boundaries, containment, timing, the dweller on the threshold. Saturn has been in Aries for a little while, walking hand in hand with Neptune. They are forming at the moment part of a major conjunction, which is going to have long-term effects on how things pan out on the world stage. And if you want to check out my deep look at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, that video is up on my channel. So check it out because it's quite interesting. Now, when Saturn goes retrograde, it gives us a chance to slow down, and Saturn is all about slowing down. Neptune, remember, is also already retrograde. Aries is about initiating, and it's like you've got this Saturn and Neptune. Neptune's what you want to manifest, your dreams. Saturn is saying, but I've got to put some structure into this. I've got to find a backbone for it. I've got to find some way of making it work. So Saturn and Neptune going retrograde really are giving us the opportunity to go back and redefine our way forward. Is what I think I want what I really want? Now, interestingly, they're both at the moment being sextiled, which is a helpful aspect from retrograde Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Pluto, of course, is our planet of transformation. And so Pluto is saying, these ideas and dreams that you would like to manifest through Neptune really stand a very good chance of unfolding if you take time to put the right foundations in place. So Saturn is saying, I'm going to give you that time. I'm going to just go backwards for a little while to give you time to actually look at the details. It's a little bit like a Mercury retrograde, which we've got coming up soon. So it's a little bit like, let's just go over this again and make sure we've got everything, all the right boxes ticked. So we've got that going on, and there's something about Saturn retrograde which I think empowers us through Pluto in Aquarius to find that mature side of us, to transform ourselves into a much more adult and mature part of ourselves that can be realistic about the dreams that we want to manifest. So Saturn goes retrograde on the 13th and stays retrograde until November the 28th, when it will go direct again. And I think it's about looking at the structures in your life and also deciding, is this, as I said, is this what I really want? So these dreams that Neptune is showing you, visions, ideas, and it comes and it goes, is about taking responsibility and feeling into it, feeling, am I actually taking my life in the right direction? There's something about the self-discipline here that the buck stops with us. We have to take responsibility for the decisions and the dreams that we intend, and the acting out of them, the realization of them. So Aries wants to get things done quickly. Aries is impatient. And Saturn is saying, no, wait, put the brakes on. Slow down on impulsive behavior. Take time to really make sure that you look at the decisions that you are in the process of making. Do these serve me well? Are these decisions I'm intending about that which I wish to manifest, are they really what is best for me? Now, of course, we can never ultimately know anything, but the thing is, if we don't try, we don't know. And regret lasts for a long time. So I think you have to look at how you use that inner authority. Try not to get caught into the Aries energy of wanting it now and trying to make it happen. Don't try and make anything happen, because Neptune is bringing in those clouds of illusion. So allow yourself to take a step back and think, okay, Saturn's retrograde, it's giving me time to just think about things and to have some kind of control over any impulsivity that might be triggered by the Aries energy, which is saying, oh, let's do it now. So somehow Saturn is asking you to streamline your energy. So it is, as often I say, it's about the responding to the energies as they come along and not reacting. You need to make sure that you are taking sole responsibility for the choices and the actions that you make. Yeah, Saturn is that kind of disciplined. And on one level, it's like, oh, God, can't we have some fun, please? And yes, it is a bit like that with Saturn, because it's all, well, this is the way you're going to have to do it. And, Saturn is a hard taskmaster, the dweller on the threshold. But I'm afraid that's how it is. And the beautiful benefits and gifts of Saturn are that if we do the inner work, which is really what Saturn is asking us to do now by going within with the retrograde, to look within, to look at our inner thoughts, fears, feelings, beliefs, and challenge them. If we do that work, if we face our shadow straight on, the growth that can come, and the ability to manage the decisions that we take, so that even if it seems like, whoa, I've come out of the frying pan and into the fire, we can go, okay, this is what it is. It is what it is. I deal with this. It is good for my growth, my maturity. So there's something here with Saturn that builds true independence and resilience. You can really learn to take care of you without the dependence on another for validation or permission. So I think that you'll move away with the Saturn retrograde from the ego idea of taking action. It'll have much more depth to it. There will be a maturity to you will look at the situations or the decisions that you want to make and have a maturity and a depth of understanding that empowers you, using that Pluto energy, to know that the decision you are making is for the highest good of you and for everyone. So I do think you will become clearer over the next 2 to 3 months of what it is you want to do, why you want to do it, and actually start to see something shifting for it to actually unfold. Anything that is coming from the ego will probably drop away, and you'll realize it's nothing. Why did I want that? Why was I so caught up in it? I mean, the challenges with this are the frustration, because Aries wants to do it now and Saturn is slowing everything down. So you might find that you get frustrated, you might feel, oh, discombobulated, discouraged, just what's the point? Just be aware if those feelings creep in and think, okay, Saturn is slowing me down and giving me these doubts for a reason. Let me just sit with it. Don't judge yourself too harshly, because Saturn can do that. We start thinking, oh, I never get anything right. I make a mess of everything I touch. Saturn is endeavoring to teach you resilience, not shoot yourself down. And you have to be careful that this frustration that can come from this energy does not go into a kind of passive-aggressive behavior, to sort of be mindful of that. So there's some constructive areas that one can focus on, which is sort of like, have you ever wondered who you really are when no one is watching? Are you the real person with others? Does your action come from fear or from integrity? Are you going after things that just look good to be doing? Are you trying to please someone else rather than actually doing what you know is best for you and the people that depend on you? How are you with your boundaries? Do you give yourself good, firm boundaries to respect your need for space and time out? And how brave are you? As you grow through these Saturn transits, are you able to embrace the changes that come and the fact that you may have to let go of dreams that you thought, oh my God, I wanted this so much? Are you able to let go of them and embrace the new? So I think we can look at where we try and push too hard, and Neptune might be clouding that direction a bit. And how can we really work with our inner wisdom to enable it to govern our direction and how we behave and respond and act, not just with ourselves, but with others? So, as with all of these kind of transits and conjunctions, unless they are tightly affecting a personal planet or angle, like the ascendant, the descendant, the IC or the MC, and they're quite transient in that. They're not long-lasting effects, or at least even if they are in some ways, they're not there all the time. You don't notice it all the time. You're not thinking, oh my God, I've got 6 months of Saturn retrograde on my Venus or something. It doesn't quite pull together like that. And with the outer planets, because outer planets are so generational, again, it in some ways dilutes the meaning. The house, yeah, I guess you can say, okay, it's my seventh house of relationships, so maybe I need to slow down a bit and smell the roses and look at how I can restructure my relationships, or, make the changes that need to happen. So retrogrades give us time, and Saturn, of all the planets, is the planet of time and timing, and so it is giving us the time. So I thought the quotes today should be about the benefits of patience. And, you know, patience is about timing and inner growth. Now, let's look at wisdom and inner growth, because Bruce Lee said, patience is not passive. On the contrary, it is concentrated strength. You know, as I say that, I'm seeing Bruce Lee about to do some karate and chop a board in half. And you think how, I remember the astrologer Pam Gregory talking about she learnt how to do this, how to chop a block of wood or a plank of wood. And she said what you have to do is visualize your hand on the other side of the wood, not that it's going through the wood. You just see it on the other side. And I found that fascinating. And that, in a sense, is this Saturn energy of patience, of the passivity, which the concentrated strength that comes through patience. A. Milne said, rivers know this. There is no hurry. We shall get there someday. Daisaku Ikeda said, with love and patience, nothing is impossible. And that's kind of true. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, adopt the pace of nature, because her secret is patience. And that's where the, in days gone by, before technology, before automated, the Industrial Revolution, we lived by the stars, we lived by the seasons, we lived by the cycles of day and night, of the weather patterns. We were much more in tune and in harmony with the planet and how it worked and the seasons. And I think in those days we had an ability to sow the seeds and know that we had to be patient for them to grow. And sometimes in this modern day and age, we've lost touch with the ability to be patient with that which we wish to manifest. We have to sow the seeds in fertile ground, but they don't have to be manifested until, they can't be manifested until they're ready to bloom. And timing and trust. David G. Allen said, patience is the calm acceptance that things can happen in a different order than the one you have in mind. Isn't that us told? Time has its own way. The divine has its own way. It's not my way. Joyce Meyer said, patience is not simply the ability to wait. It's how we behave while we're waiting. And there's a lovely anonymous one here, which is, time is a great teacher. The willingness to wait allows truth to unfold without force. And this is really retrograde energy. And finally, here's 3 quotes on spiritual and transformational patience. There's an unknown, which is, trust the timing of your life. What is meant for you will come, not by force, by alignment. Luc de Clapier said, patience is the art of hoping. Quite cute, that. And finally, Henri Nouwen said, in the spiritual life, waiting is active. It means living in the present moment, cultivating openness and surrendering control. And that's a beautiful one to bring this to a completion today, because I think The word surrender is something about how we can navigate retrograde motions of planets. When a planet is retrograde, we surrender to its higher knowledge, that it knows best for us how things should unfold and the timing of them. There we go. So, on that note, thank you so much for joining me for Saturn Retrograde and my thoughts on it. In the meantime, if you are watching this on the 13th of July, Sunday, I will be doing my live week ahead tonight. And, well, I hope so. I'm planning to, unless the universe knows better than me. I will be here at 6 o'clock Central European Daylight Time. So, in the meantime, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I really look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.